Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us and you can see us. Of course, it is Bank Holiday Monday and we're here for our Monday night natter. Of course, as always, please let us know if you can hear us and see us. It's always lovely to know that we're not just stood here talking to ourselves. This evening you have got myself and of course you have got Peter joining us. So let's see if I can see Peter. Give us 1 second. I need to move his camera because I've just spotted some secrets off to one side you're not allowed to see. Let's see, Peter. Good evening, Peter.
What secrets have they said? Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all okay and had a nice weekend. What secrets?
They're not allowed to see the shelves over there, Peter, are they?
Nothing to be seen here.
No? Is that what you're sticking to, is it? Nothing to be confessed?
Nothing to be confessed. Maybe later.
Maybe later. No, later. No! Oh, he's a naughty one, isn't he? He's already trying to get us in trouble. They're not allowed to see that side.
That side?
That side.
Okay.
No. Okay, enough stupidity from us already. Honestly, it's so early and here we are already being daft.
At least they know they're in the right place.
You are in the right place. Let's say good evening to some people and see who's joining us on this very sunny, actually. Well, it looks sunny to me. Lovely bank holiday. Who have we got? Good evening, June. Good evening, Von. Kim, Pete and Crafty Friends. No pub tonight as Derek is away for 10 days delivering a birthday card. This must be the card, Kim, that's going to go all the way around Europe. I've read the post.
Sounds like I need to hear more about this.
Well, if I'm right, it's going to somewhere. I want to say Czechoslovakia. I might be wrong.
You know, and I put you on the spot.
Somewhere like Czechoslovakia, I feel. And then it's been given to somebody who I think name was Rob. If I'm getting any of this right, I'm well impressed because I've got a memory like a fish. And then Rob is taking it on a tour around Europe for 10 days, I think.
A card made by Kim?
A card made by Kim with a pub on it.
With your products?
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. It's more the story of the tour. Okay, good evening, Tammy. Good evening, Pippa. Good evening, Joanne. She's saying hello before I have to dash off to my dinner. I'm sorry that I missed Monday night. Now, do not panic. You can catch up later. Of course, as you all know, this will be left on the page for 30 days, but it will also be put on our YouTube channel probably tomorrow-ish. So if you prefer to catch up on YouTube, you can watch it there. Good evening, Laurie. Lovely to have you with us, Sharon. Good evening, Kay. Hello, Sheila. Alison, oh, there's loads of you with us again this evening. That's lovely. Evening, Andrew. Evening, Emma. Angie, Lynn's with us. That's lovely. Pauline, Teresa, Mandy. Oh, Mandy's with us. Hold your breath, Mandy. Don't hold your breath, but stick with us, Mandy. Don't leave us. Sounds like casualty, doesn't it? Stay with us for a little while. Pardon?
Why is Mandy leaving us?
She might not be, but she can't. Stay there, Mandy.
Oh, Mandy.
Good evening, Kathleen. Good evening, Joyce. I feel like I've said everybody, and now I'm just going round and round in circles, which happens, doesn't it? And that's not what you want to hear anyway, is it? So let's stop saying good evening, although it is lovely to have you all with us, so thank you for joining us. It's always tricky to know if anyone's going to join us on a bank holiday, because you kind of think it's sunny and the sort of seaside's open and you know, you might all go out and enjoy the day. So it's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Now, I promise we are going to do some crafting throughout this evening. It's not all just me rabbiting endlessly. But while I am rabbiting endlessly, we do have a couple of bits and bobs to get out of the way, don't we? So, first of all, our next shows are coming up this Thursday. We'll talk more about these as we go through this evening, I'm sure. But on Thursday, we will be on the craft store at 10 AM and 3 PM. At 10 AM, we're going to be taking another look at the vintage travel collection. It's the first time we've taken that collection to the craft store. In honesty, you've only seen it on Highlight Crafts and a few lives. So it's our latest, newest collection. So it's really exciting to be able to share some more inspiration with that and you guys on the craft store, which you'll be able to watch Thursday morning at 10 AM. At 3 PM, we've got a bit of a Christmas bonanza going on. We've got 25% off of our individual Christmas items, selected Christmas items. I suppose I should put in some sort of brackets or something. But a whole host of Christmas collections. So maybe you haven't yet got that lovely opulent tree that you've been seeing pop up on my page recently, or maybe you've had your eye on Rodney for a little while. This is your time to get them with 25% off. That'll be on the craft store this Thursday, the 8th of May at 3 PM. It's exciting times. Then, on top of this, while we're doing our kind of catching up with all of the bits I need to tell you, and this is where Mandy comes in. Mandy, you're our winner. You have won our hashtag I don't know how to do it like that. Something like that. I don't know. Hashtag.
Be careful what you think.
Yeah, I know. I thought hashtag pink competition over on the group this week. We launched this last Monday when we was live with you all, and it was your chance to share with us on the Created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts page your creations that you've made using the colour pink. And there is a goodie bag that we're going to be sending out to Mandy with one brand new exclusive item in it that nobody's yet seen, and then a whole host of other goodies, retailing recommended retail price for over £40. So Mandy, this is our lovely Mandy lock. If you could please pop us over a message to the page with your address on it, I'll get the team to send that out to you as soon as possible. I can't show you the goodies because we haven't yet picked them all, but it's going to be a lovely little bundle, including our exclusively not yet released to the world stamp. The only people who have seen this stamp or had this stamp was those that went to our demo day with Gwen at Gilly's Crafts a couple of weeks ago. So you're in a very special group of people who are going to be able to own that stamp. Congratulations. Then, of course, we need a new competition, don't we? So we need a new mission. So I'll tell you about the prize a little later on. But already, I'm going to drop in that your mission for the next week is hashtag blue. Hashtag blue. So we want to see what you can create using the colour blue. Now again, as a brand, we've got lots of blue options for you. It doesn't have to be about us, but if you need inspiration, we have of course got blue quick dry pigment inks. We have got blue metallic gilding waxes. We have got blue metallic ink pads. We've got blue glitters and texture paste. We've got it all going on in blue, not to mention cardstock as well. And we've stuck again this week to a colour so that you can go off and do any sort of theme you want to, really. But it's probably going to be the last week we just leave it generally open to a colour. I don't even know if we'll do one the following week, but when it comes back, it might be something different. So enjoy the colour choices while we're doing them. So this week, hashtag blue. There will be a post put up on the group tomorrow explaining all of the bits I need to tell you. But in general, just share your posts using the hashtag blue with us, and somebody will be entered in to win again next week, and we'll tell you who wins next Monday. Pete's already chuckling in the corner. So what are you chuckling at while I get my demo?
A lovely Diane. She says, can't enter this one either.
No, I know you can't, can you? I'm sorry, Diane. You know, you're on our DT though. So you get oodles of goodies to play with, including our next release, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet, am I? But of course, we will have to have a Monday night sneaky peek soon. It's not next week, but I think it's the week after, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be the week after.
The week after.
Yeah.
So we're giving you a little bit of a break this month while we catch up and deal with a few bits here. But as soon as we can, we will be back with that next collection. And it is actually, I will tell you, it is lovely. I'm not going to give you any hints because of Pete scowls at me when I tell you too many bits. He does. He's like that. It's not nice. So we won't tell you too much tonight. Maybe next week we'll give you a few more hints and tips about what's coming. But this week we'll be very well behaved. But I do know that Diane and the team are already creating some incredible creations ready to share with us. It's always lovely to know that things are coming, isn't it? Speaking of things that are coming and products that are available, what do you mean, oh no, from the sidelines?
Now?
I'm not doing anything. All I was going to say is when we talk about our products and we start our demos, you're going to need to know where to get these items.
Oh, that's
so
right.
if we have, see, I've remembered the bit I haven't done really. If any of our stockists are with us this evening, please don't hesitate to pop a link in the comments directing our viewers to where they can purchase the items, because as I'm sure you all know by now, we don't sell direct at Jamie Rodgers Crafts. You will have to go through one of our stockists. There is a stockist list on our website if you'd like to see all of them, or if you're watching from around the world and maybe you want to look up our international stockists. But if we have any stockists with us this evening, in a kind of way I hope we don't, because it's Bank Holiday Monday and they've probably had one of their only days off. So I'm hoping they're out and enjoying the world. But if they are with us, then please, as always, pop a link in the comments, because it's always nice to see that you're here with us.
Lovely, and Barry and Julie are watching.
Oh, are they? Oh, good evening. Good evening, good evening. Lovely to have you here. So, okay, enough waffling. Let's do some demos, shall we? So, of course, this week has all been about Pretty in Pink. And I always like sharing with you how, even if you don't have the right products to make the colour scheme or the project, we can improvise, we can do different things. And this is kind of what we're going to do in this demo. This is all about taking things and mixing them and making our own unique combinations. You've probably seen me do this before, but it's something I think we often forget. I know I'm guilty of forgetting it. So anytime I've got the chance to sort of hammer this idea home, I'm always going to, because it's so fun and so easy to do. And it kind of brings in all of the bits you might already have in your craft stash, and it doesn't necessarily have to be our products that you're doing this with. Maybe one of the items is ours, maybe they're not, you know, it doesn't matter. It's about reminding you to get creative and make fresh ideas, make fresh products. So what I've done here so far is we've taken some of our clear texture paste. We're just going to take out a small amount of this, we don't need loads of it. And we're going to hook this out onto our blending mats. These are our little small blending mats, and we're going to divide that slightly so that we've got two pieces that we can work on, and we're going to do a couple of different things. So first of all, we are going to dig into my little drawer and see, let's go down a drawer. Let's go for the easiest option here. Let's bring in our re-inker. So these are, of course, oh, that was close, weren't it? These are our metallic re-inkers. This one is the Sea Breeze Blue. So with the idea of the hashtag blue coming up next week, let's take our pink creation and go off on a bit of a blue theme instead. So we're going to mix into this small bit over here. Oh, I say we're going to mix in. What's going on here? Come here, bottle. Give me some ink. Have I got a blockage? That's never good, is it? You can tell we're not overly prepared, can't you?
A lovely Laurie is asking if you can run through the rules and guidelines of the competition.
Oh, that's a good question, Laurie, isn't it? You're asking for something there. Why? Help me out. Stick a pin in that while I get covered in blue.
You'd
so
rather
Laurie,
I were covered in blue, wouldn't you?
well, you know, I'm already part Smurf. It's not a good look. We can go about this another way, but I don't know why that's gone like that. So have a little look for me. Laurie, the rules to the competition are very simple, or the ones I can remember are very simple. Basically, you can create for this week anything in blue using whatever you wish to. We just ask that somewhere along the lines you use a JRC product. So whether that's an ink pad, whether that's a glitter, whether that's a die, a stencil, whatever it may be, and then you share your item to the group, which is called Created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts, and then that's all you have to do, really. From what I can remember, it's not overly complicated. We try to keep these things really, really easy, to be fair with you, because life's too hard, isn't it, sometimes? So the simpler we can keep it, the better. And it's just really, truly, and we was waffling on about this last week, it's about giving you guys sort of a bit of a challenge and something to do with a bit of a purpose and a bit of a theme, and hopefully pushing you slightly out of your comfort zones. It's like me personally, I very rarely work with bright pinks or dark or light blues maybe. So maybe this is my time I'm going to start experimenting with those because I've got that reason to, I've got that purpose to, and this is kind of what we're trying to do, is just give you a reason to think outside the zone and explore something you might not normally explore. Okay, so what we've done so far is we've brought in, I'm going to find a nice stencil, I like this one. So we've brought in our lovely Sea Breeze Blue in our re-inker. What was going on with my re-inker, Peter?
I don't know.
Was it just me being dopey?
Wow, it's just been a bit problematic, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this, which we've now created using our, oh, I've done it now, haven't I?
Oh.
Now I've stuck the lid in the text. It's all going wrong, Peter, honestly. So I've taken our blue and I've put it into our texture paste. So we've straight away made one version of our blue texture paste. Now I often go on about this. I love doing this because what it means is instead of buying texture pastes in loads of different colours, all I had to have was a clear texture paste and a version of ink to put into it. So we'll start off there with our blue bit. We'll clear that off so we've got a bit of a neatness to it. We're then going to go into our texture paste again and we're going to hook out another small piece. Now we're quite happy for that to be contaminated with what we've already done, because this time what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our Night Sky Navy and we're going to mist that into the side of it. And then we're going to take that and mix it in. So now we're making another shade of blue. And again, we're just bringing in a different item to create a new concoction. And we're going to bring that one over to our stencil and we're going to add that as our next layer. And I don't mind if these two fuse together slightly or blend. Never mind a bit of kind of blending running through them. And we're going to go up to, let's say, about the same area-ish. I've got a bit more of this, so we don't need to be too wasteful. We'll carry that up to about there. I don't know why, and this could just be in my little head, but this is reminding me of, is it Neapolitan ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
The multicoloured ones, where you get the little blocks of colour. Giving me vibes of that. Okay, then we're going to bring in some more clear texture base. I'm going to go off over here, and we're going to take a small amount of that navy, and we're going to dilute that down more into the clear so that we're not as vibrant as we was. So we've got a much lighter shade going on than where we were. And at this stage, let's go for, I think actually I want some Gilding Flakes. Let's have a little look. So I think this, let's see how we get on with this. Let's bring in our silver Gilding Flakes. Now I know we're meant to be blue, but there's no reason we have to be all blue. So let's bring in some Gilding Flakes into this one. So that is, of course, our vintage chrome from our Gilding Flakes. I love these. How cool are they? That is literally like a disco ball in a pot, isn't it? So we're going to bring those in, and we're still working into our texture paste. And we might need to add a bit more texture paste for the amount of flakes I've added down. And we might want something, I think we might need a bit more colour, because that might be a bit too silver. But you can see the blue coming through in it, but we are going to bring over a bit more of that, just to intensify the blue slightly. And then I think I'm relatively happy with that. And this is kind of more the mixture that we did for the finished card. And I'll show you that again in a minute, but I'm just trying to really play, to be honest, and show you that with just a couple of ingredients, how we can make so many different concoctions. So we're going to go in here for our third section of ice cream, if you will. We'll neaten that up.
Any tips for getting the ink off your hands at all? Sharon and Natalie have both suggested maybe using shampoo.
I was going to say that. Yeah, washing your hair, and trust me, I ain't got a lot left, so some days is a bit of a job. But washing your hair is the best thing you can do. I don't know what they put in shampoo, but it does, doesn't it? It just takes it straight away. I can have it everywhere, all under my nails, everywhere, like 5 different shades. But you wash your hair and it's gone. It's magic. So yeah, I would really go with that idea completely. Hair washing, incredible. It does just take it all away for you, which is just what you need, isn't it? Okay, and then I'm going to look for, I want to do a different version for our fourth section. So let's have a little look. What else have we got around here in a blue? Let's see, are these my ones? They're not, I don't think. I think mine are downstairs.
I stole yours.
You stole mine? Honestly, you'll have anything, won't you?
I'm an honest thief.
You are. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to bring in some gilding wax. This is something I don't think I've done before. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to hook out some of that, and we're going to put that onto our little plate over here, and we're going to bring in some more texture paste. Let's see how we get on with this. Oh, we might have done this on a live. We might have mixed this. I don't know. I can't remember. Honestly, memory like a fish. So we'll bring that in, and we're going to mix that together with our wax and just see how we get on. If it, you know, and again, this is something I always encourage. If we make it and it don't look right, or it doesn't react and it doesn't mix and we're not happy with it, we literally are going to be using like a pea-size amount of wax and a pea-size amount of texture paste. So it's not really the end of the world if it doesn't do what we want it to do. But if we find that we've created a combo we like actually that looks really lovely, doesn't it? Then do you know what? We're on to a winner, because we've now got a texture paste that's going to match in with something you probably never would have imagined it would, which is the raindrop of the gilding wax. So to me, winner. We've made a new combination. So we'll take that, and actually, I'm going to do it. I didn't want double spark. Yeah, I'm going to do it. We're going to bring in some of the Larry Mar glitter, and we're going to add that into the top of this mix as well, because it's nice to show a different combo. So now we've got wax, clear paste, and some glitter going on in that one to give a more textured look. That's really nice, actually. It looks a bit like a sort of rockety, star moony kind of thing.
Diane's impressed, said you're really going for it.
Well, you know, Diane, it's bank holiday. Why not,
Let your hair down.
Let your hair down. That hair we wash.
And then wash it.
Let it down. See what we can create. I am. I've been waffling about this in the last couple of days on posts over on the page you're on, actually, isn't it? But we've been waffling about this, about using things that I've got laying around on my desk. We had a bit of a board meeting yesterday, didn't we, Pete? We've spent days. What I'm going to do here, while I'm just waffling, is I'm going to bring in some of this one. This is the one that we made with the flakes in. And I might be ruining things here, but I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to put it across the base of this panel. Just because I don't want it to look too crisp. I kind of want to join the panels up a little bit. And where these bottom two, we didn't have any glitz or glam down here, and we've put glitter and flakes at the top, I think it looks a little unbalanced. So by putting a small amount of flakes down the bottom, maybe even like that actually, just blending them slightly over these panels, might just make a little bit more colour run between it. And then if I wanted to bring in a silver flower or a silver butterfly or something and put it on the top, it's not going to look out of place because it's going to coordinate throughout what we've done. So let's have a little look. What have we done? Do we like what we've done? That's rather cool, isn't it? Do we like that? I like that. I think that's quite fun. Now, I have, of course, overworked this stencil to within an inch of its life. So expectantly, we've got a little bit of bleeding going on underneath the stencil here. Not a big problem. We could certainly land that butterfly there. That could be where our sentiment is. So me, if we turn it this way, we'll try and get all these in the light so you can see them. That one at the top there, that was with our lovely Raindrop metallic gilding wax with the clear texture paste. And of course, Larimar. Now I feel like I'm just playing Cluedo in the dining room. Then the next one down was, of course, I can't even remember now, that was the Elite Mr. Night Sky Navy with the clear texture paste and the silver from the Gilding Flakes, wasn't it? Then this one was clear with the Night Sky Navy. And then the bottom one was Sea Breeze Blue with the clear, with a little bit more overlap of the Gilding Flake mix as well. But I think that works quite nicely. What do you guys think? And then what section do you prefer? One, oh, with my fingerprint stuck in it now. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Do you have a favourite? Let us know in the comments. All about the feedback. What one are you going to be using on your hashtag blue? What did you like? What did you learn? What have you done before? What have you experimented with? Tell us everything. We want to know it all. We'll place that off to one side and we'll let that dry, and we'll give our very messy mat off to Peter so he can soak this into some water. But what I might do before we do that, actually, because I don't like to see waste, to be honest with you, we're going to bring all of that lot together and we're just going to work that in, and we're going to see if we can get another little bit out of a stencil with it, even if we don't do a whole stencil because there's not a lot there. And we're going to pick a stencil that's not particularly too open, because if we go for a stencil with less space to cover, we might get more area out of it without it being wasted. So we're going to bring this in and we're going to place that down, and we're just going to go for, and we're going to try and work in one area so that if we run out of paste, we've still got a usable panel. Maybe we're going to do this on a small card or die cut out of it. So we're going to go for an area around here. Now I'm starting to think that we're heading for an A6 at this stage. We might be able to get an A6 card out of that. That's not a bad target to have in mind. So we'll bring that down and carry on trying to clean that off of the palette knife. There's always so much, isn't there, left actually on the stencil and on the palette knife that if you're really frugal with it, you can usually just get a small amount more out of it. Sorry, please excuse that
Lovely
noise.
sounds.
Sorry. It's where I'm trying to like really make sure we get every bit of that so we can extend this out as far as we can.
Seems like number 4 is winning.
Number 4, so that was the last one, wasn't it, that we did?
Which was your wax?
That was the wax. Yeah, see, I wonder if, is it winning because of you didn't expect we could do that with wax? Is that the bit that's sort of going, oh, well, actually, that's a really clever use. I know I've shown you a lot of the other uses and ways previously, so you might have seen them already. But I always think it's a really good reminder. And especially when we're doing these competitions with new colours or colour focuses as such, we are going to fill this whole stencil. I'm sorry, we're going to do it. Come, you know, any battle, we're going to do it.
Our viewing numbers are plummeting.
Are they? I'm so sorry. I'm just
They're
so
not,
sorry. But we had to do it, didn't we? So I think we nearly just sort of got rid of that bit. And actually what we've managed to do with it is create a whole new panel that now has a use. I know it's frugal to the point of silly, but to me that's great because it's another panel I've got out of something that I was probably going to just put into water. Do you know what I mean? And that's never good, is it? So lovely depth again. Our stencils have got that really nice extra thick mylar. So when it comes to putting your sort of pastes through them, you're going to get more depth to them. Now this one here, now I've left this a bit of a while because we've done all of that scraping with it, haven't we? And that took a lot longer than it should have, let's be honest. And there are different products going on here. So this might not work. And I don't know, I have got some water. We're going to take what we've got on here and we're going to refresh it with some water just to see if we can get a bit of movement off of that. As I say, we did leave this a bit too long while I was buttering my toast. But we're going to take this and we're going to lay that down on another piece of card. And we're going to see if we can take a print off of that. So we're going to bring in a piece of white paper over the top there. And we're going to use a brayer. You could send it through your machine with a rubber mat.
Sort of sound effect night.
I'm sorry. Full of the noises, aren't we? But having Stomp coming at you live through your lives this evening. I think the team at Stomp actually earn quite a good living at this, Pete. If I give you
Maybe we need to join Stomp.
something over there to bang about in the corner, we could have a proper little go, couldn't we? So let's see what we've created. That's kind of lovely as well, isn't it? That's not too shabby. That's giving very sort of Christmassy-esque vibes, a bit more subtle. Even the flakes have printed across on that one. Now, of course, the flakes might come away a little bit more when this is dry, but you've still got your 4 flavours of ice cream going on at least, and we've got the flakes coming through at both ends. So we've certainly managed to achieve 2 for 1 out of that panel, and we got the extra bit out of there. So I know it was a bit of faffing mixing all of the different combos, but we've kind of got enough stuff there to make 3 cards with. So I'll pass them off to Pete and he can put them somewhere safe to dry. And then next week or probably 7 months time, I'll see if I can fit in using those. And I'll bring in the bit that I was on about that I've been using, but I'm just going to clear my desk off slightly because I've got a bit carried away with my blue, haven't I? I don't know if you can see that at home, but we're a bit multicoloured desk. And if we're going to send out the card that we make, we need to make sure that it isn't attacked by a smurf.
Our lovely Natalie Beresford
Evening, Natalie.
would say they make some nice Christmas cards for them.
Yeah, Christmas isn't far away, is it? As I said earlier, we've got our Christmas bonanza this week going on. So Christmas is certainly on our minds. But yeah, absolutely, Christmas would be lovely. It's nice to see I'm not the only one thinking of Christmas. I know it's a bit early, so apologies. But it's kind of nice to get ahead and kind of start calmly. Sometimes I know I'm guilty of leaving everything to the last minute and then wishing I'd started months earlier, and it's just too late. The moment's gone, isn't it? So this one here, this is our pinks. So again, we started off with our clear texture paste. For this one, we bought in our candy pink from our Gilding Flakes, and we bought in our pink from our glitters, if I remember rightly. I have a feeling it was our pink sapphire, and this one was just those 3 combined. So no actual colour agent. If you remember the ones we did, we bought in a form at some stage of a liquid colour, whether it be from the ink, the mist of the bottle, whatever. With this one, we just stuck to clear and then the colours of the flakes and the glitter to make our colour. Which, as I say, to me, you might not necessarily follow me on this one, but if we was to bring out clear texture paste, Gilding Flakes and glitter, and then we brought out a Gilding Flake texture paste, and then we brought out a glittered texture paste, you could end up having to purchase, or not having to, but possibly wanting to purchase so many different texture pastes, so many different loose components, where if we sort of highlight that actually, by buying the raw ingredients, you can make your own Gilding Flake texture paste, you can make your own glitter texture paste, you can make your own combo of all of them, and then maybe even start bringing in other colours to make different versions. Maybe you do want pink Gilding Flakes suspended in a blue background, if that's what matches in with what you're doing. And to me, I find that exciting because I'm kind of inventing products as I go along to suit the project I'm doing, instead of just necessarily picking up a pot of a product that's already been preconceived for me or pre-designed for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. We do glitter texture paste and we do misters in one colour and all of those different things. But if we start treating them as ingredients instead of an end result, to me, that's when we can make some really exciting projects. So this one's really simple. We've got our card. We're just going for a DL card using one of the Stencil Vault stencils. And we're just going to bring in a flower. Nothing complicated here at all. This is our rippled star bloom flower. And I've just made the centre out of a few gems. I like doing these. I'll use one big gem in the middle and then put lots of little gems around the outside, because it looks like I've bought a fancy diamante button. And instead I've just made it out of inexpensive gems. And then we're going to bring this in. I'm going to move that pearl down, that gem down to the middle of that one, because I can see that we're not in the right place. And then I'm going to add that flower just onto this end. And that was designed as a very simple, quick and easy card that could go as a portrait or a landscape, depending on who you'd like to send it to, or maybe finish it off. Maybe it needs a butterfly or a sentiment or a ribbon. But it's, to be honest with you, I loved the background so much when I did it, I didn't want to cover it up. I wanted it to be the star of the show. I didn't want you to miss that. But possibly if I just used a glitter paste out of a pot, although I'd possibly ooh and ah a little bit, I might not have been as impressed with what I'd done. But because I've made it and it's my concoction, my recipe, to me that's kind of fun. The recipient's going to have no idea, but to me I want them to make sure they see that bit. So it's just a different idea for you, really. So, okay. There's our first card of the evening, made and ready to send out. So let's ask you your all-important question so that you can all get commenting and enter in to win the cards we make if you would like to. So about 2 minutes to 7, we come up with our question this evening. We weren't very good today, honestly. So many different things got in the way. Well, not got in the way, but took us off on tangents. But we was a little bit late to the party thinking of the question. So our basic question for you this evening is we're, of course, on a bank holiday weekend. So we're going to go from Saturday morning all the way through till whatever time it is now on Monday, 7:30 on Monday. So you've had all day Saturday, all day Sunday and Monday. How many crafty projects have you made? How many crafty projects have you made since Saturday all the way through till right now? I know it's a bit of an easy question, but actually sometimes the easy ones are the most fun. It's not about who's made the most. A lot of you, I'd like to think, are going to say, do you know what? I've been out in the garden. I've been out doing something. It's bank holiday. And if your answer's none, tell us none. Not a problem. But tell us how many you've been creating, because we're nosy and we like to know what you've been up to. And if there's any funny stories associated to any of that, then we'll happily know them as well. Now,
Natalie's asking when will you be bringing out your Christmas collection? As you know, Christmas starts in June in craft shops with lots of laughing faces. I'm getting the look. I'm repeating a question that one of our lovely viewers has also. Anyway, any answers?
I'm the one who normally does the teasing. You're the one who normally sits there with the look.
You can't read all the comments.
Can't read all of the comments.
Am I getting
so out of all of the comments, that's the only one you've picked out. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I keep telling you, we need Debbie McGee, don't we? Debbie McGee wouldn't give me this, would she? Honestly. When is Christmas coming? I think Christmas is coming July for us, isn't it? Very, very early July. Why do you look so vague? Don't go giving me as much vagueness. It is July.
Keep guessing.
No, don't guess. It's early July.
Early July.
Early July. Yeah, it is early July.
That's quite a way off as yet.
But we're not just having one Christmas, I can tell you that. We've got a lot of Christmas this year. I love Christmas, so we're going to have lots of Christmas. But it starts for us in July. We're a little bit late. We're always a little bit late. But July, but it won't disappoint. But we're starting in July. So this card I wanted to share with you. This isn't one we're going to demo. It's one I posted on my page yesterday. And I just wanted to share it with you because of the hashtag blue element. And again, showing you the mix. Now, this is a mix that we did on a live. This, I think, was our gemstones texture paste mixed with our blue from the metallic re-inkers. So again, just a different combination. But it does share with you just a couple of ideas and really bringing together bits that have been created on previous lives. whether that's the panel here with the stitching and the circles and the decals, whether it's the one with the stenciling on in the background. They're all sections or bits that have been brought together. It's just the butterflies and flowers that have been added to it. And even they were in kind of like my pile of bits to use, if you like. So again, when it comes to doing your hashtag blue entry, it doesn't have to be incredible or amazing or complicated. It can be really pared back if that's what you want to do. And oh, was it Laurie who asked about the rules earlier? Yes. I think it was, wasn't it? Laurie, another rule. They'll come back to me as I go through this evening, I'm sure. Another rule for you though, you can enter as many times as you like. So there's not just a one and done situation to this. If you would like to enter 20 times, go for it. As long as your card and project fit the group rules and you've remembered to put your hashtag blue on it, no problem. Keep entering. Mandy, who won, I'm trying to remember. I think Mandy entered 3 times. There is no limit. Carry on and do as you wish. Mandy's card, by the way, we will post that to celebrate the winning of Mandy. But it's a lovely pink number, of course, because it was hashtag pink. But it's using our kaleidoscope octagons with lovely little corner details on it and really beautiful flowers. Very, very, very pretty. But I will be honest, it isn't about the creation or about how many times you enter. It's all picked at random. It's the fairest way we can do it, but it's random pickings. So if you're somebody, and I always like to point this out, if you're somebody who's sitting there going, oh, my cards aren't good enough, you know, then they're not going to like this, or that's not going to win because it isn't what in my mind I think is incredible. Please forget that. There's no level to this. Even if you are a brand new crafter and this is the first card you've ever made, and it might be a little bit ropey as all of our first cards were, it doesn't matter. It's about joining in, it's about sharing inspiration, it's about being part of the team and having a laugh and kind of being with us. So don't sit by the side and kind of regret not entering. It's your chance to enter, it's your chance to join in the chat, it's your chance to be with us all. So please don't be shy, that's what I suppose I'm trying to say. And it might sound daft, and I often confess this, but I get nervous about sharing what I make, and it's my job to do it, but it doesn't make it any easier. And I think there's lots of people out there who do similar jobs to what we do with lives and shows and bits, and it's still nerve-wracking for us. It's still, of course, you know, we'd like to think we're all right at what we're doing, but we all make mistakes. We all have them cards where we wish we hadn't made them, or learn from them. It's not wish we hadn't made them, but can learn from them and look back on them and go, oh, that weren't my best. Don't panic. It's about the fun of joining in and sharing. Okay, enough waffling. Let's make a card, shall we? So this is the one we're going to do next, and I've already got it out, so we're going to just start making it. So with this one, what I've done, and let's do it actually. Have you got a question, Pete?
No, sorry.
I see an arm movement. It's all it took.
Stretching.
All it took. You're stretching because you're old. What are you like?
Joint's going.
Okay, so for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, and these are cool, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about them before, but these are the edges that come with the mechanical collection. So every mechanical die has with it a different size outside edge that runs all the way up from small to large. That isn't exact, is it? But you get the idea. But each one comes with its own edge. So for instance, the smallest one in the middle here comes with, as you can see, the cog die. This one, I think, comes with the corner die. The next one up comes with the tool die, and so on and so forth. Now, I leave them on my boards like this because I'm going to use them as the mats they're intended. But it's a really good, inexpensive way to buy a nesting set of dies that coordinate with a theme. Something we've only done once, but it's something I want to do again later in the year, because to me it just saves you a few pennies and gives you another set of nesting dies inexpensively, and hopefully ticks a theme that you might not have. So with this one, it's all about the cog edge, and the cog edge matches in with the cog dies. So you might be able to see this here, but if you imagine your cogs fit inside the teeth that go down the edge here. So you might choose to put some cogs making up a larger border going around a frame. You might wish to cut them on the inside and put the cogs onto the inside of the frame. Either or, it all works for you, and it gives you a different style and look and way that you can build up things like your cog pieces with your cog edges. So we're going to go for the second to largest, and we're going to start off with that one, and we are going to bring in our scalloped and pierced squares. So these ones are the ones that have separate pierced edges to them. So they're not attached to the edge, and it means that we can bring them in and we can place that down inside the cog edge. to give us a pierced line running around the inside of there. We're then going to go off and we're going to go for our scalloped ovals. And this time we're going to bring in the pierced line and we're going to put that on the outside, and then we're going to put the scalloped oval on the inside, so that we end up with a scalloped oval aperture with a pierced line running around the outside of it. And we're going to send this through the machine to see how that looks. The whir has started. The machine is doing its magic.
Natalie's asking if she's in the doghouse. She feels she got the look.
Oh, you didn't get the look, Natalie. Honestly. That wasn't a look
Definitely
at
me.
you, Natalie. You are fine. You carry on. That's this one over here, Natalie. Asking the questions. Honestly. Part of his job is to like make sure that nothing too tricky gets through. And then what did you do? Guys asked about Christmas. Honestly, Natalie. But no, I'd ask the same questions if I was you. Don't you worry. You know that we like to give a little sneaky of what's coming. So, okay, off with our edges so that we end up with the panel that we need. So here is our pierced edged, cog bordered, scalloped, ovaled, pierced detailed frame. That name needs a bit of work, doesn't it? But you get the idea. Lots has gone into this to give us the panel that we're working with. You've of course also got the leftover pieces as such. And these I really love, because if you take these, and you don't have to do this with them, but if you take these and you take out that middle part, for instance, these pieces can then fit back together. So if you want to make like a zip look on a project, you've then got the perfect zip effect. Or if you want to leave them slightly open, and then bring back in them loose cogs that we're talking about. I have actually got some here cut out, haven't I? You could then put the cogs running in between to make a little border or a little pattern. And of course you could do that as wide or as small as you want to, and bring in different size cogs to fit between the teeth in different ways, if that makes sense. Okay, so nothing's wasted. Even the largest frame has got a great purpose to it and a great way to use it. So I'll place those off to one side and we'll go back to where we were. I'll get this bit out of the way for a second. And we'll bring in this one, to which we've already gone ahead and put some foam tape on the reverse of it. So within our aperture to this project, we're going to hang a little key. So this is the key from the steampunk set. And on the key, we're going to add the chain. So my little tip for doing this is we are going to, what way round? I don't know if I've got the tip I thought I'd got. I have got the tip, I haven't got the tip, I have got the tip. We're going to remove the foam tape. I only thought of this yesterday. This isn't how I normally do these, but I think this is a better way of doing it. Usually if I want to attach something to that little loop, I will cut into the loop. We'll do it on this one. We'll cut into the loop and then attach the chain so it properly fits around it and you see it and it looks neat. And well, actually we will do it on that one as well, thinking about it. I've done that wrong. It doesn't matter. We're going to cut into this one so that you can see it. And we're going to place that through there. And then you can glue that on the reverse to hold it in place. But what I would normally do, but this one I did just cut through, so this isn't going to work as well as it should have done. But I'll give you the tip in case it works for you. We're going to take that bit off and we're then going to glue that over the reverse there. So that it then holds that loop in place from the back. So although we've cut through the front, so you see the loop coming through where it is, the back one is the one that's going to hold it in place. So it doesn't still move and it doesn't then fall out of the hole that you've cut in the top one. And it was something I only thought of yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know what day it was now. I'll show you what I was doing in a minute so you can see what I mean. Now I'm going to be naughty. I'm just going to put a small amount of glue onto my hand so that I can, and that's if I get it the right way around. Honestly, it's all going wrong tonight. But we're going to add some glue onto that. But don't use your hand, is what I should say. Use a blending tool and a mat, which I'm just being lazy because I can't remember where I've put them, but I'll look for them in a minute. And then we're going to place this over the top of that one to hold that one in place. We can just line that up and anchor that down so that now our chain stays where our chain needs to be, is the plan. And it's all nice and secure and got a bit more body to it than if we just loop it through that top bit. And it's just a bit easier. Mandy's asking, have we received her address?
Yes, we have.
Oh,
yes.
well done.
Yeah.
Good, good.
I was trying to find an opportune moment to butt in.
No, don't be silly.
But
You
yeah,
got
all
it
received,
anytime.
Mandy. Thank you, and we'll arrange that for you.
Well done, Mandy. It's
Um,
not easy to find where to do these things, is it? I was trying to do some things with our pages earlier and I went round and round and round in circles. It took me about 20 minutes to find out what my password was, didn't it, to Facebook earlier?
mhm.
Honestly. You see people getting hacked all the time, don't you? I think I needed a hacker's help, to be fair. It wasn't easy trying to get into my own account. Okay, so on to the background to this one. So we've created our little hanging window. We've placed in our chain with our key hanging down from it. We've trimmed off the top of the chain and added that onto the foam tape. So we've just got the loop being held on there, or the chain being held on there without the top bit coming through. We're then going to move on to what's going to go behind this, because we want a nice panel to shine through from underneath that aperture. So we're going to bring in a stamp press. Let's have a look what one we got here. Got stamp presses of about 8 different sizes. Let's bring in our lovely Lisa Horton one. We're going to open this one up and we're going to place that panel down on the inside here. And we're going to find our script stamp. So this, of course, is our Latin script stamp. And we're going to place that down on top here. And we're going to go back to that metallic blue ink because we're going to be using that actually shortly. Again, this is another blue project. I don't even think that was planned. I should tell you it was, shouldn't it, really? But yeah, another blue project to match in with our hashtag blue evening.
You're grinning at.
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Behave over there. Okay.
Saying a word. Sharon says she used the back of her hand because she loves peeling off the glue. Such
Yeah,
a child. I used to love doing
Our
that.
glue doesn't really peel, to be honest, but I
No.
suppose that would be a bit of a peculiar one, wouldn't it, if we ask them to produce one that can peel, just because we like the peeling. But I am with you, Sharon. I am with you very
Something
much.
satisfying, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to pick this up, we're going to move it down. So we're using the Sea Breeze Blue from the Metallic Inks with the Latin script stamp, and we're stamping over the Decadent Ivory of the Elite cardstock, just to give you a bit of a list of what we've got going on here. Kathleen reckons by the end of the live you'll be like a sticky smurf. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I never mind though, never bothers me. It's just part of the course, isn't it, really? Kind of ending up a bit multicoloured with our sort of inks and misters and bits. It's only ever tricky if you forget and then go out. Where did I go the other day? And then got home and realised I was covered from head to foot in Gilding Flakes. Me and Pete went out the other day as well, didn't we, actually? And I said to Pete I should upload a photo of my jeans because I'd been using Gilding Flakes and glitters that morning with the project I was working on. And it had all got like encrusted in my jeans. And it looked like I'd got like proper designer sparkly jeans on or something. I
Like
don't
a
know,
glitter
cool.
ball walking along the street. Yeah.
It was. I can't remember where we were heading on that outing. But
Do you have dinners, isn't there?
Oh, we did, yeah. Nobody commented there as we sort of shone in the place and shone out of the place, did we? Thankfully. Okay, taking off the foam tape on the back of the key, just so we can make sure that that's going to sit nice and in place. And then we're going to skip ahead to the mats and layers to this project and bring in some of these. So we're going to start off with our navy cardigan. So this is the Night Sky Navy with some of the Decadent Ivory on it. And we're working on, I'm going to guess, a 7x7 card, but we will give you a little measurement in case you're wondering. So we are 7¼ a 7¼ for the card size. And then we're going to bring in some of our seashell blue and we're going to lay that on the top here. Again, using our 1mm foam tape. So not too tall, not too prominent, although we're now up to layer 3. And then we're going to bring in the panel that we're working on. We're going to put some glue onto the reverse of this. Is Alison with us this evening? Has she reminded you yet that you haven't got her a name?
Oh, now you've done it. No, she hasn't. She's her Xander Panda passed the MOT, so I think she's
congratulations, Xander Panda.
still very up for coming out on the road to be our little glue seller.
Well done, Peter.
She just called you Jazzy Jamie.
Jazzy
With all
Jamie.
the glitter, you see.
Jazzy Jamie. Wasn't it, was it Jazzy Jeff in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
Is he the one that, no, that
Is
wasn't
that
the one
who you're
that
trying to be, or?
Well, I wasn't intentionally, but I'm up for, a rebrand. Never against a rebrand.
No.
So, okay, on with our birthday wishes on the side here. I can't remember who Jazzy Jeff was.
Diane reckons go back to the glue that it helps to smooth out the wrinkle.
Don't know if I'm allowed
I
to
do
say
love
that.
Diane.
Don't know if we can use that
Love.
as a advertising ploy, Diane. Okay, so we're just going to bring in our entwined leaves.
Correct.
Yeah, I got there. I
Impressed.
never call them the right names, do I?
Nope.
Our entwined leaves, and we're going to place them down on the corner there. So I've just put mine in with some foam tape, top and bottom, so you don't have to watch me position all of the pieces. And then we're going to bring in a blending mat again, and we're going to go back to our metallic blue ink. We're going to use our rippled blooms for our flower, and we're using the Sea Breeze blue ink. And we're going to lightly rub the ink over the top here of the flower. Now, I feel it was last week we was talking about this. These metallic ink pads have got like a foam body to them. So they're very squidgy. A lot of ink pads have a felt body to them. If they're felt, they're a lot harder. So when you come to brush ink over the top of things like flowers, like our debossed details, they're not going to go through to the background. With these ones where they're squidgy, if we push too hard, we're going to end up going, I'll do it so you can see what I mean. You're going to go right the way through and you're going to end up with just blue card. So the trick here is to just lightly brush over the top. Don't be too heavy-handed. If you find that you're still going through to the underneath and colouring it too much, then this is the stage I would recommend that if you haven't already got one, you invest in a brayer, because you can pick up the ink on the brayer and then take that over the top of the flower. And this is an even harder surface than a felt ink pad. So it really will just kiss the top of the card, leaving that deboss line being another colour. But carry on over the top of the flower, colour all of the pieces you need, and then when you're ready, let's bring these flower pieces together. So mine, very quickly, for this project, we are just going to use a bone folder to shape them. He says without knowing where there is a bone folder. I've got one on the end here, this might do. Okay, we'll do it with this for now. So we'll just round these out. And then we would just fold up the middle, and we're going to repeat that a few times and glue them together, just to give a bit of depth to the flower and a bit of prominence to the petals. Now, always hold on to the middle of the flower so that you're protecting the petal from being removed if you're a bit heavy-handed, but that way you can then shape them and give some nice depth to the flowers or the petals as you work around them. I'm impressed the Xander Panda passed the MOT, Pete. Nice when that happens, isn't it? Doesn't always happen.
I reckon she was just thinking about a name badge.
Quite costly. She hasn't yet mentioned it this evening, has she?
She has now, thankfully. Thanks to you.
Well, I don't like you to escape too many things. You got me in trouble with Natalie, so it's only fair I get you in trouble with Alison.
And I was genuinely looking at name badge companies the other day.
You was.
So it's sort of in the pipeline. Still there in my thoughts.
Still there in your thoughts. I'll write it on his to-do list, Alison. I'll see if that brings it into fruition. So all we're going to do is add on a couple of flowers. So I've got a nice big flower here that we're going to tuck under there. We're trying not to cover up too much of the key. So I might go over to the side a little, and then we're going to bring in our last one, and this one's got a bit of tape on the back of it. So we're going to add that going around this edge. Now in the middles of my flowers, you might see that I've added some cogs, just to match in with that kind of steampunk effect. Now I have also cut some more cogs, and these we could place coming out from underneath them edges if we want to. Now it's up to you how steampunky you want to go with this. So I'm going to add in a couple, I think, because I think it'll be nice. So let's find our mat and our glue, and we'll do this properly this time. Now we're going to do a bit more. We'll do it properly. So bring out the glue onto the mat. Blending tool with just one foam applicator that I use for glue, so it doesn't matter that it goes a bit sort of gluey. And we're going to pick up the glue, and we're going to bring this into the back of our die cut. We're going to pounce over the reverse of it, so we've got a nice glue coverage, and then we're going to post these coming out of the top of that oval and around the sides a little, just to complete the card, just to make sure that we've got that little steampunk, oh, that one's still got a couple of bits in it, steampunk theme going on.
Joanna asks where the key is from, please.
The key is from our Steampunk Essentials set that come out with the Mechanical Collection. Pete's just going to find it for you so I can share it with you. I can hear him rustling off to one side. While you're rustling, Pete, have we had any entries to the competition to win the cards?
We have. We've had quite a lot.
Oh, give us some numbers then. Have they been crafty over the weekend or not?
Well, there's a mixture. Some have done lots, some have done just enjoyed the weekend, I think. So
I don't blame you.
a lovely Debbie Frost, I think she made 15 church
15?
cards for the church, I believe. Evening
Wow,
Debbie, if you're with
Debbie,
us
that's
still.
them going. That's incredible. 15 ain't too shabby at all, is it?
It's quite an impressive amount.
Yeah. Debbie's done a couple of lovely entries in our #pink competition this week, if anyone's
Okay.
missed seeing them. Honestly, genuinely, and if I didn't say this earlier, thank you to everybody that's entered, because of the amount and volume of entries and the inspiration you have given with those entries is incredible. We had over 40 entries to the competition, which is a really high number for a group that's only got 1,200 people on it. So really, genuinely, thank you all so much for entering. Thank you for joining us on our kind of silly missions, I suppose. But I know what it's like. Sometimes if you're crafting, it's nice to have a bit of a challenge, a bit of fresh inspiration, push to try something new. And that really is what these are about, is giving you the chance to explore something you've not seen or done before, or work with a colour you've not seen or used before. So in answer to Joanna's question, this is the Steampunk Essentials dice set. So it's part of the mechanical collection. In here you've got, I love the pipe work. The pipe work makes the most amazing corner, but if you join 4 together, it makes quite a cool background. It's also got quite a lot of deboss work on it. So if you want to go in and highlight that, it's really easy to do. This would actually, and this is something I haven't gone back and done yet, but this collection, this set, would work so well with the metallic waxes. But in here, you've got your stopwatch, you've got your key, you've got your airship, you've got the clock mechanism to go inside the watch, you've got our lovely steampunk hat, and of course your pipework corner. Lots of these have got quite a bit of debossing on them as well. So there's a lot of detail to go in and sort of carry out if you want to, or use as sort of guidelines to cut and layer. And of course you've got your large cog edge panel to go with it as well. What have you got,
Quick
Peter?
question from our lovely Kim. She's just saying, can you show how the cog edges compare to the postage edges?
Of course
please?
I can. That's a great question. Thanks, Kim. So these are the 2 sets. So we end a bit smaller with the cog edges. So let's have a little look to give you a size guide here. So the cog edge ends at just over 6.5, just shy of 6 3/4 inches, I suppose. These ones should be about 8. So yeah, just quarter under 8 for your postage ones. With this set, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. With the postage set, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. To give you a bit of a guide there. Obviously we go smaller with these ones because in the middle of this set we've got room to carry on going. Within the middle of this set, that's where that lovely cog panel came in instead. And then if I give you a closer look at them, you can see the difference between the edges. So you've got cog and postage there. If there's any other questions regarding these, then please just yell and I'll bring them back so you can see them again, Kim. But they're the different sets. Okay, so that completes our card. Let's have a little look. That's what we've done. So Latin script stamp in the background, mini cogs around the edges, rippled bloom flower on the front there with our entwined foliage leaves. I'm doing it again, I can't remember the names for toffee, can I? I'm terrible. But all coming together to make that card. And that is our second one that we're going to send out with the first one to our winner. Any other numbers you want to share, Pete?
There's so many comments tonight. Thank you for all your lovely comments. But no, lots of numbers. Where are we? Natalie, bless you, she made 20. She's been making
20?
samples for a class.
Oh, lovely. Oh, we want to see them,
I
Natalie.
do. Someone else.
Where did Mystic Meg come from?
Was Mystic Meg in there, was she?
I feel Mystic Meg just made an appearance. Maybe we could get Mystic Meg. Actually, I think Mystic Meg passed away.
She did, bless her.
Sorry, Mystic Meg. Terrible memory.
Joanna said, I made one flower using your elegant poinsettia petals in pink, but didn't get a card made in time for #pink, but I'm sure she can still share it on your page.
Of course you can, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to meet the criteria of the homework. It's just always lovely if we've got a mission to sort of give you all a chance to join in with. So, okay, I'm over my 1 hour time limit that is set by the voice in the corner. So we'll do this one and we'll do it quickly so that we can leave you all to get back to your bank holiday Monday, because of course it's a day to celebrate. It's a bank holiday, I suppose. So where should we begin? Let's start off with our card blank. What is May Bank Holiday? Is there a reason to May Bank Holiday? I desperately panicked then.
You
I don't
dance
think...
around the maypole, don't you? But I don't
But it
know
doesn't
the
commemorise
relevance.
anything, or...
Well, I'm not very educated. I think
No, I just had that
everyone
awful
else
fear.
will know.
So card blank is 6:15.
Who's going to ask what is the meaning behind the May Day Bank Holiday then?
Well, I wondered, you know, does it have a reason? Some of them don't, do they? They're just like, oh, it's summer.
Get a lot of Morris dancers, don't you, with all them bells on their legs? You know, like the ones that don't have the bells.
What are you on about? What are you
The
on
Morris men come out, don't they, on the May Day?
Please repeat the little...
Oh, I can't read it.
Come on.
But they do. They sort of jump around, don't they? Jump around. They've got bells on their legs and dressed in white and stuff.
It's not fair I'm the only one that gets to see the little... I feel I need to share that. So yeah, do we know what that's about as well? What is... Where did that come from?
What, the Morris dances?
The May Day, Maypole bit. That, again, it's got to have a reason.
And then you
We're
get
just showing
Molly
how-
dances as well, don't you? Very
Molly
dark.
dancers?
Yeah, they're very dark.
What do you mean they're very dark?
Well, all like cover their faces and stuff.
Do
Don't they?
they?
They're dark.
I don't know.
Oh,
of
help me
this.
out, people. You're all educated. I'm not.
Has anyone rescued you yet in the comments?
Sheila says, is the May Bank Holiday not the start of summer?
I don't know, Sheila.
Don't know.
I honestly don't
Sharon
know.
thinks it's a pagan festival.
Oh, it might be.
Apparently, they want Joanna. I can't decide how many hours he does. She says, we love watching. They want more hours of you.
You don't, honestly. We've got to the stage of the evening where we're starting to show our lack of intelligence.
Kim's got a question. Have you seen Kim's question? I see you looking.
See you looking. So all I'm doing here, before we answer Kim's question, is building up some layers. So we've got our scallop squares with our pierced detail, and then we're going on to our plain edges. So plain edge circles, and this is why we've bought you kind of plain edges and fancy edges between lots of different shapes, because they all coordinate. So we're then going to move up so that we're working with our scalloped circles. So giving you that size option of just that little shadow to come through from underneath to bring that highlight of gold coming into our project. And of course, matching our scallops and our pierced between the layers just gives an elegant look. We're then going to move on to our next panel up, and we're going to bring in that same Latin script stamp that we played with earlier, but this time stamping it in the elephant grey, and then going ahead and trimming that out using one of the plain circles. So I've skipped ahead to do this. So in answer to your question, Kim...
Have you seen she's put another comment
Has
on
she?
there? She says, I'll take that as a yes then.
Well, yeah, that is kind of where I was going to go now. I've kind of come back to it. Maybe, Kim. Maybe. I'll be honest, again, I'm going to get the look. We have a lot that's going on and lots of bits that will come out soon, don't we? Well, we do. You know, it's a time for lots of releases.
He's getting
It's
the
summer.
look.
I'm getting the look. You're not getting the look, I'm getting the look. But yes, paper pads are one of the items that we are currently working on. I'm going to be honest, if you're watching, the printers that are doing them have been a bit slow. And we keep trying to hustle them up a little bit. So, being honest, you know us, we tell you far too much than we should. We have them ready, we just need the samples to sign off on. Then we can click order, and then they'll be here soon. But the printers are being a bit slower than we'd like them to be, being honest. So we keep sending them emails, don't we?
We do.
We do. But they're very lovely, very nice people. Very, very nice people. Went for a tour a few weeks ago. We were like, we're going to have a little look around. So we went up and did a little tour of the factory and met them all. Lovely, lovely people. An incredible setup, weren't it?
Mm.
We watched. We do this a bit. When I'm going off on a tangent now. This card isn't going to be quick, is it? Before we even started, the stamps that we use. So all of our clear stamps. You know what a clear stamp is. You don't need to see them, do you? You know what they are. Like the script one we used earlier. We have them made in the UK. And we actually went for a tour of the factory that produces them here for us in the UK. They're a huge company. They make literally, like, I can't say everybody's, but let's say 90% of most of the stamps you're going to know about. They're made in the UK especially. And we went for a tour and actually got to go around the factory, like proper Greg Wallace round the factory tour, and see how they come together, didn't we?
Mm.
And it was so different to what I expected. I'll test my memory now.
Smelled lovely.
It did smell lovely, didn't it?
It did.
But they kind of start off with like this acrylic. And the only way I can describe it is, you know, when you go to a cafe and you get them little squidgy like pillows of tomato sauce, it starts off in like an A3 version of one of them. And then I'm going back now like a year, so you might have to help me out here. But there was a machine that they took our artwork and they printed it, and they had a positive and a negative, and they laid the sachet of
Like a
not sauce but
photograph, isn't
acrylic.
it? Like a photograph sort of development system.
But they lay that in the middle, don't they? And then they
Mm.
shine light through the positive, through
UV
the
light,
sachet into the negative. And then that comes out. And then have you ever watched Monsters Inc? And you've watched the doors fly round in Monsters Inc? But they take the stamps and they hang them on these sort of things, and it moves round. And it then goes through different like cookers to bake them and set them, doesn't it?
And all the liquid drips
And,
off,
yeah.
isn't it?
And whatever drips off gets reused, and then they reuse that in the next sachets to carry on making them. And then eventually they're set, and then they get cut down from their big sheets and then packaged and sent to us, and then we send them to you. But me and Pete love to do that. We'd love to go and see, if we're going to be dealing with a company, it's really important to us that we can go and see how they work, what they're doing, see what else they can do for us and we can do for them, and see if there's other ways in which we can work with them. And then just see how the product is made, because if it gives us a better understanding on when we're designing it, we're formulating it, what we're going to achieve with that product. And then if, which does happen sometimes, something comes through and it's not quite at the quality we wanted it to be, we've got a bit more understanding of how that got there or why that got there and what went wrong with it. So it's one of the things that Pete's very good at. Whenever we start working with a new company, he's like, have you got a factory we can come and tour? Can we come and meet you? And he sort of whisks us off to meet different people up and down the country and around the world, really, to sort of see how things
Must
are
have missed
made.
the world bit.
Well, I was thinking more in the future with the world
Okay.
comment, I suppose. I'm very
I've
excited
missed the
about some of
exotic
the people
trips.
that Pete's got scheduled for us to go and see at different stages. But it is lovely to be able to kind of go and see behind the curtain to see what and how things are made. So, okay, back onto the card. So we're going to bring in our hot air balloon. Now, hot air balloon come out with the Floral Lace Collection. This one has a filigree die and it has an outside die. That gives you lots of options. The outside die matches one of the stamps I'm going on about. So we do have a stamp that you can stamp in the area first of all. I don't know if I've got mine. It doesn't look like I have. Bad planning, I apologise. But there is a matching stamp set that matches the hot air balloon that you can then layer this over the top and cut that stamped image out if you want to. There is also matching MDF and there is also matching stencils. So you can stamp it, put a stencil over it and colour it in different bits like that. So lots to go on with this collection. But I've gone ahead with our pink card and I've cut this part out, which also, I think it was Ian that did this on our DT, turned these into vases. And I think it was Ian, it might have been Lynn, that turned these into light bulbs as well. So lots of uses as well as a hot air balloon. But we've got our main body. We're then going to go ahead and we're going to bring in some layers. So what have we got first of all? Are they joined together? I think they are joined together, but just gone off. No, they're not joined together. So we're going to bring in our first layer. Oh, this has got a bit caught. I've had this kit for a while, sorry. Let's get that bit off, there we go. So we're going to bring in our first layer, and this has been cut using the filigree panel and the outside edge. And we're going to peel off these back bits. Oh, Alison reckons there's a stamp factory in Orlando.
Is there? I know
I
what
like
you're
the idea
thinking.
of that. See,
We
this
could
is
put
what
that down
we
as an
need.
expenses paid trip.
It could be, yeah. Would that be a write-off?
It'd be a long shot.
It
but
certainly would be.
I can have the chat.
Yeah. I don't think we can get funded holidays to go to
No.
all factories. But
Why
that's
did your
so
company
lovely.
fail? Well, we had a
Well-
lovely time with old Mickey.
Okay. So then we're going to bring in a white version. So exactly the same again, cut using both pieces, and we're just going to drop shadow that over the gold so that we see some of that gold shine through from underneath. So off to one side slightly. So we've got the three colours now coming into play, the pink, the gold and the white. And then we're going to peel our tape off the reverse of this one, and we're going to bring it in and we're going to place it on the side here of the card. What are you chuckling at?
Alison,
now?
she said, is there a stamp factory? Not there is a stamp
Oh,
factory.
sorry. See, I just got excited. It's very hard to stick bits together and read. This is why I have Pete
And I
here.
run with it.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if there is one. If there isn't, maybe we could like get one done just so we could pop over and see it.
What, build a factory just for you
Oh,
to build some stamps.
pop factories up all over the world in places that I'd like to go to see. I don't see a problem with this. I don't know if that's going to work. Okay, we're going to bring in some flowers while we're off on our silly chats. We're going to bring in the Floral Lace dye flowers. Now again with these you've got positives and negatives with them. So you've got the outside edges that come separately, they're not attached or with the same one, because in the middles of these you've got filigree panels. And we're going to use the filigree panel part to do some cutting, because these flowers I actually think genuinely are my favourites. I don't always use them, I don't always go back to them, but I absolutely love them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the dye, we're going to bring in some mirror card, and we're going to use silver, and we're going to place that over the top, and we're going to send it through our machine. Because as these ones cut, a bit like a lot of our other dyes, they're also going to deboss in that detail. But with mirror card and these flowers, I think that's really, really impressive. So it'd be nice to see. Oh, Alison wants to come along on our trip, office outing. Give her a name badge, that's it. She thinks she's
I
part of the
know.
holidays.
She could
I
be the
don't
trip
mind, Alison.
organiser. She could be like one of them, say, red coats, but they're not the ones on there. That's buttons.
I don't
She could
mind.
be a little holiday rep.
She could do.
And
She could use the Xander Panda
Yeah.
as...
Alison's magical tours.
Well, I was thinking to get us to the airport,
Oh,
but, you know, no limits, I'm sure, to the Xander Panda. So, yeah, she's going to need a very big name badge, though. If she is tour driver,
she's got a lot of jobs. She's a busy
factory
girl.
tourer, and glue seller on the side. Okay. Poor Alison.
Poor Alison.
Okay, we're going to bring in some of the foliage and the flowers from this now then. And I've just added some foam tape on the reverse of these. So we're going to bring in one set and we're going to place them down on this side here. And we've got these going in both directions, I think. I don't think I have. I think they're all the same. Never mind. That's okay. We'll wing it. But in the set, you've got them going in both directions. Talking of all this world touring, is anybody else watching Race Against the World? Race Across the World? Across the World. Race Across the World. If you are, and if we are a bit late, I was meant to ask this to you all last week. If you are, who do you think's going to win? As a DT, we have got a bit of a list going, a prediction going on who's going to win. Do you want to get it up on my phone, Pete? And I'll tell him who we think's going to win.
Mhm. Diane thinks an Orlando all expenses paid DT trip, maybe.
I think this could be good fun.
I think we're definitely bankrupt.
Yeah, but what a way to go out.
Oh, I know, I'd do it.
What a way. You know, if you're going to have to, let's do it on holiday. That was some good English, wasn't it?
That was very good English.
That was very good English. Apologies.
Alison reckons she could fit 4 in a Panda.
Oh, we might
I
need a
don't
double
know
Panda.
if I'm being left behind or...
Wow. Okay, so there is our finished card. Bringing in our flowers, our balloon, our script, our circles and our squares. So we have completed 3 this evening, which is good for me. Nothing too overly complicated, I would tend to say, in honesty. A few mixes of bits here and there, bit of inking, bit of stamping, bit of die cutting, nothing too complicated. Has anybody given any answers to who they think's going to win the Race Across the World?
No, not yet.
See, we might be on our own here, but I will tell you who we think. So so far our votes are, I don't think have I wrote down Wendy's? Yes, I have. Wendy reckons it's going to be the mother and son. I don't know names, I'm sorry. So if you're not watching this is going to be even more confusing. But mother and son. Lynn reckons it's going to be the two brothers.
Fran says the two brothers.
Does
All the
she?
kids from Wales.
Who's got kids from Wales? Ian reckons the children, not children, are they? They're 18 and 19 and they're racing across the world, so that's a bit of a stretch. But the young couple from Wales. I reckon it's going to be the husband and wife who have got divorced, who had the takeaway. I reckon they're going to do well. That's my prediction. And Pete agrees it's going to be the mother and son. There are, if anyone's watching this and wishes to join in, you can comment after we've finished yabbering, I promise. But
Joanna thinks I'm going to be in the boot. Alison's boot. I'd love to see me fold into a boot.
you might not get it on camera, but Pete is what, 6'3"?
6'3".
6'3". So he's quite a size for a Xander Panda boot. But, you know, I'm game. Debbie McGee would make it work.
Debbie McGee would.
Is this something else that Debbie McGee can
She's
do
got
that
a
you
long
can't?
list of jobs and all.
I don't know. Okay, let's leave these 4 people in peace.
Yeah.
Just quickly before we go, these are the stamps I was on about. So your matching stamps to go with your die set, if that was something that you've not seen before, the die does match up perfectly, and there is a matching stencil as well. Again, Debbie McGee let me down. But there is a stencil that matches to go over the top of the stamping if you prefer. Lynn reckons you're a high tower.
I'm not sure what to say to that.
Could you leave them in peace?
Michelle.
So before we go, don't forget that we need a winner from you, please, Peter.
We do.
And if anyone would like to join in, over on the group this week, created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts, you're going to use #blue, and you're going to share any creations you've made that are blue. As long as I've got a JRC item in there somewhere, it's not a problem. There will be rules on a post that will be pinned to the top of the page if you'd like to know more, and you can enter as many times as you would like. And next week we will give away a little bundle of goodies to some lucky winner for taking part. This week's winner, in case you missed it, is lovely Mandy Locke. Thank you all for sharing in our #pink competition. We had over 40 entries to that, which was incredible. So thank you all very much for joining in. It's always tricky when you do a competition like that. You never know if anyone's going to bother. And it's always really lovely to see you all respond and join in with our craziness. So thank you. Peter, our winner is for the cards this evening.
So with the answer of just one project was congratulations to lovely Angela Briscoe.
Oh, congratulations, Angela. Thank you all for entering the competition to win the cards this evening. Angela, if you can, please, can you message the page with your address and let us know if you would like us to sign the cards for you or leave them blank, and we'll have them popped in the post to you as soon as possible. Thank you all very much for watching us this evening. It's been a joy to be with you and to have a laugh with you all. So thank you for joining us. If you can, don't forget that we will be on the craft store on Thursday, the 8th of May. We will be on at 10 AM with the vintage travel collection, and at 3 PM with 25% off individual Christmas items. So that's going to include our Christmas Wishes collection and our Essential Christmas collection, and a couple of other bits and bobs as well. So it's a great time to stock up on Christmas before we start new Christmas later in the year. I can tell you that some of the new Christmas will go very nicely with some of the sale Christmas. So it's not going to be a bad investment to grab that while it's on offer, actually, in fairness, thinking out loud. Okay, thank you all very much for watching from me.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night.
See you next week.
Bye all. See you next Monday if we don't see you on Thursday. Night, night. Thanks
Night.
for joining
Bye.
us. Bye.